I heard Dana's speech regarding that, about how he was sitting in the fighter section and sitting where Team Habib was to boot. I mean, come on, dude. You know you're asking for trouble. And then they showed me the videos of what he was showing Ali and Islam in relationship type embrace, and then he was doing things with a porn star in Islam embracing, and then he's talking crap on other things. I mean, what do you expect when you do that? And you go and you sit where the guys are sitting, and you riling them up with big, huge disrespect.
All he looks to do is just, just grab a headline, whether he gets his teeth kicked in, or he gets choked up by a security guard, or he gets slapped by Ali. This dude just wants his name in the headlines. He doesn't matter. This guy will get on 4 and fucking do some shit for money, man. Something strange for a piece of change, bro. Because he's a hoe, dog. He's that type of person. He ain't got nothing going for him in his life, but to be negative on other people and make up shit and talk shit. I mean, he was talking before the fight that he was the best welterweight in the world, talking about Islam and JDM. And it's crazy to me. I'm like, man, this is the same dude that got choked out by a fucking security guard that was out of shape. It wasn't even like the guy was competing and training. The guy just trains casually in jiu-jitsu, and he fucking held you down, submitted you, choked the piss out of you until the cops got there, and he goes around talking like he could fight.
He posted a video of Ali and freaking Islam making out. Like, he's done he does a lot of crazy shit that you're just like, bro, like, you better be careful, man. Talk about somebody who could get shot for some shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't talk about family, don't talk about religion, don't talk about dead people. But Dildo Danis just tends to just go above that, and even more so.
Yeah, so he came on. I did an interview with him because he wanted to come on the podcast a few times.
Oh, God.
We mentioned it, and then he was messaging, and I didn't go to New York last week, so I had some free time. I was sitting around. I said, yeah, jump on. Let's have a quick chat. And, bro, you know what he was talking about. He was just going after Khabib, going after Islam, going after Ali, going after everyone, and saying, like, he doesn't hold back. Certainly does not hold back.
For Dillon Danis, that's what it is. Like, he says all these things, and then he goes out in public, and it's like, dude, like, those guys remember. And like, if you're gonna, they are the people who would test you out in the street. It's like, hey, you said this, okay, we're gonna find out. And yeah, 12 of them jumped him. He has some good shots behind the head. John did, and yeah, you saw Dillon Danis get arrested, and then Islam's team, they watched the fight in the back of the hotel. But that's just the thing. It's like, damn, Dillon Danis can't go nowhere without getting any hate, and I think he did it to himself, right? Like, I think it's good to go everywhere and not have to have a target on your back, right? Like,
well, it's funny because I was there, and I was actually I was behind the commentator, so I was watching DC, Anik, and Rogan do their stand-up, and Cormier couldn't help himself. He kept turning around, and I remember I was sitting with my buddy Brian, who I brought with me, and I'm like, what is he looking at? What is he doing? I was like, he's live on the pay-per-view stand, or I guess the prelim portion of the stand-up going into the last few fights, and he kept looking back. And then I realized, oh shit, there's this massive scuffle going on in the background. And then I saw all the highlights on social media of Dillon getting kicked and punched and people falling all over the place.
When you talk about someone like last 5 years you talk about someone, when you meet them, как будете должен отвечать за свои слова.
You have to answer to what you said.
You have to answer what you said, And today, I don't think he answered, And he still say a lot of bad things about our team, and today he coming and somebody just meet him. He talk about this guy's bad, and today the guys just meet him.
That dude's the biggest dork in the world, man. He's just a loser that's looking for clout, and he can't fight, right? So he just looks for all these ways to get spotlight or dumb stuff. But the Russians don't play that. Them guys from Dagestan, you act tough with them, you have your camera on their face, they're gonna put you out right there. They don't care who's in front of them, if it's public or it's private. You treat them bad, they're gonna come back and get it back from you.
before this main event took place, there was pandemonium in the arena. Pandemonium. And I thought somebody more famous than some of the superstars that were in there was walking out, because it was pandemonium to the left. And all of a sudden, I see people, security grabbing guys. I see fists flying. Bop, bop, bop. I'm like, what's going on? Who's getting it in over there? Who's stomping over there? Then I see multiple people. You see this?
Damn, they're big. Yeah, the Dillon Danis.
You see?
Chonko and Dillon Danis, they got into it. Chonko is the man, dude. He's a gamer on the feet. Let me see. I'm trying to watch this video. He will never be allowed. He will never be allowed again in the UFC. They're not going to allow him to have tickets, come to events. Dillon got smashed. I don't understand why he goes to the events trying to start shit. I don't understand that. Like, why go to these events if you plan on just like talking trash?
They go, yeah, sure. As I start walking towards my seat from the VIP room, I run into Chanko. I'm like, what's up, man? The police is all over me. I go, what happened, brother? And he's like, nah, just chilling, bro. All good. And I see his hands are blood. And I'm like, nah, something happened. What happened with you, man? Look at your hands. He goes, no, all good, bro. Little problem. I took care of it. And I go, all right. So, bam, I took a picture. I keep walking. And as I'm getting closer to the arena, to the stands, the UFC starts coming running at me. You stay right here. Don't move. What just happened? What'd you get into? And they're grabbing me. They're holding me. And I'm like, bro, I just literally got here. Luckily, the UFC always has me with two glorified babysitter security guards, because every event they got two bodyguards on me everywhere I go to make sure I don't cause no trouble or get in no trouble. So by the time I got out to the main event, all the good fun was taken away already. Dillon Danis had already got fucking mopped up, kicked in the fucking face. They made him eat shit, made him lick the floor, and then they kicked his ass out and banned him. So sucks for you, pussy, because I'm not gonna hit the fuck your ass up in the crowd, because I would never fight this guy in a professional setting, because he's not a professional.
Dillon Danis at one point has talked trash about me. Dillon Danis at one point has talked trash about my manager. Dillon Danis has talked trash about Masvidal. Dillon Danis has talked trash about everybody. Exactly. So he's gonna be in there, and this ain't the first time situations has happened. Remember the whole Khabib versus Conor McGregor fiasco? That was the most viral thing for years. Yeah. Do you know who Khabib hopped over the fence? Who he hopped to?
Yeah, Dillon Danis.
Wow.
And you know what happened is, I think it's 1,000 article eroding on this, because it happened in front of the whole media. He can deny it all he wants. I don't give a shit. And he forgot too. Kayla Harrison punched him. It was at a bar. She punched him too. He got punched by Kayla Harrison, and he didn't do shit. She did. She grabbed his hoodie and boom, she sucked him.
Where? At MSG?
In New York. You remember when he said, I hate at a place, whatever? No, that's not what happened. Kayla saw him. She's my sister, and we knew each other for a long time. And she grabbed him by his hoodie, and she punched him right in his head.
Now look, I'll tell you something. Dillon Danis is an instigator. Guys, you can't blame the Dagestanis for beating him up. A guy's yapping. He's insulting you. He's making fun of you. He's insulting. Guys, that's the thing. That's what people don't understand. Freedom of speech. Okay, freedom to defend my respect, my honor. You know, like somebody's talking smack about me, I might do something about it.
It's funny. I just heard an audio clip of Gordon Ryan. He said, "Look, man, Dillon Danis back in the day, he was not to be messed with. Like the guy who had great grappling skills. He had this, he had that. Now he's just a fucking clown." That's the bad part about it all, right? When you have a kid that has that much talent, he hung around with Conor McGregor so long that he believes that he still is that guy. Conor's not even the guy that he was. Like, dude, you were never relevant. The most relevant you ever were was when Khabib jumped off the cage and landed on your fat head. That's how relevant. You were only relevant during that period of time, and you keep bringing yourself back in to trying to be relevant again with your fucking fake teeth. The way you talk is just, it's crazy insane to me.
Somebody put up a video once of Khabib after every one of his fights, and you see he's shaking his opponent's hand and hugging him and like showing him respect. After he beat Dustin Poirier, he put on the Dustin Poirier t-shirt, showed respect to Poirier and his family. There's only one fight where Khabib flipped out and started fighting to the corner. One fight. And it's not because he's not a nice guy and he's short-tempered. It's because the other side said and did things that were absurd. The whole bus incident, the insults online, the going after the family, going after religion, insulting your wife, all these things. These things you can't do, guys. You can't do. And then when you see the guy you insulted and he wants to hit you, you're like, oh, well, freedom of speech. No, it doesn't work that way, guys.
I blame myself for that, actually. They came back and told me right before I walked out for the main card that Dillon Danis was here and he was moving around sitting in fighters and not sitting in his own seat that he had. He had a ticket. And they said, do you want us to throw him out of here? And I said, he has a ticket? And I said, yeah. And, you know, they told me, they said, Masvidal said he's going to fuck him up on sight. And I said, well, where's Masvidal sitting? He said, well, he's 6 or 7 rows away from Masvidal. I said, well, if the guy has a ticket, let him sit in his seat and let him do what he's doing and keep an eye on him. It never even crossed my mind, as stupid as this could be, that the entire Muslim Brotherhood was here tonight in the first 5 rows for Islam. And as soon as it broke out, I was over on the other side and I go, fuck, I know exactly what that is.
Dana called them the Muslim Brotherhood. I'll just call them Team Makhachev, Team Khabib. A lot of the fighters with ties to those fighters from Dagestan who, you know, after speaking to some people, my assessment of the situation is Dillon didn't do anything on Saturday in that moment to deserve getting his ass whooped. But of course, there's years upon years upon years of trolling, Instagram story posts, tweets, interviews, stuff about him talking about them in very disrespectful ways to where you can't be shocked that any of this happened. And you had to have been, you know, yeah, I mean, you had to have known that at some point this was going to happen in some way, shape, or form.
Dillon Danis fucking got TKO'd by John Pork.
Damn.
Yeah, in the stands.
Damn.
Yeah, Dillon Danis was at the fights. He was telling the Russians, hey, make sure you check in when you come to New York. Dillon's got balls to even show up. I can't imagine Dillon having friends and like having like close people like, dude, I got your back if shit pops off. Like, I know the Russians are after you. Like, I got your back. I can't imagine that. And I don't think that was the case. Fucking John Pork sees Dillon Danis, starts soccering him, sucker punching him in the back of the head, hits him with an uppercut. Dillon Danis on his back, throwing up some heel kicks, trying to hit him, motherfucker. What a shit show that was. Dillon Danis gets banned from the UFC.
Says Dana.
Dana says Dillon Danis gets banned from the UFC.
You know, in this modern world that we live in with social media, it's very easy for people to talk a lot of shit. And Paul probably doesn't get it as much as me because Paul's a nice guy. I get abuse all the time online. And it's fine because we put ourselves out there, you know, and some people are going to judge and they're going to say things. But you bring up a very good point. If you are a fighter and you're in this world and you're talking crazy shit and the type of things that you were talking about, you can't be surprised when it comes and bites you in the ass.
He is quite clearly, he's not famous anymore because of his fighting exploits, BC. He's a provocateur. Congratulations, you provoked him.
Yeah, you got what you paid for.
This is, they don't have a right to touch him. I understand. I get it. I'm not defending it. I'm simply saying here in the real world, if you provoke people, do they respond? Yeah, so sometimes they do.
Could you imagine, like, if, like, because Alex Pereira was there, somebody accidentally punches Alex punches him back, the whole thing kicks off, all of a sudden the entire fighter section is like a, I don't know, like a Royal Rumble.
Brawl, yeah.
Now, Dillon Danis, when he's been to events, this is what's happening. He's creating commotion. He's creating a spontaneous combustion wherever he is at, in whichever location in the arena. And so we don't want that. And so that's why I believe Dana White was behooved to ban him for life here, because you can't have that type of atrocious behaviors going down in your event.
These guys play by different rules. You met these guys, they're the nicest people in the world. They're very good people. Habib, Islam, John Cole, John Pork, all these guys. But it's a but. When you cross these guys, they will remember, and they will meet you, and they will have you answer.
I mean, here's the truth. John Pork has become, Chanko has become a, I can't tell if he really hates the name or not. I mean, I think it's working for him, if I'm being honest. But it's sticking.
Both things are true. He hates it, and it is working.
Well,
1,000%.
he was a babyface all week long. I think this is going to make him an even bigger babyface now, right? Getting those shots in. You just saw the slow-mo there. He's getting those shots in on Dillon. I mean,
for a
that's
man that
a lot of
wasn't
people want to
fighting,
do.
banner week for John Pork.
Yeah.
So they called me from downstairs and they said, we got him down here. Do you want to press charges and have him arrested? And I said, no, we don't want to press charges. This is the fight business, man. You know how I feel about this shit. You know, and I could have prevented this tonight, and I messed up.
Yeah. Anyone else get arrested or anything like that in the fall?
Not that I'm aware of, no. Okay. We're not pressing charges. I'm not speaking for MSG or anybody else that was involved in this thing. I don't know, but we, the UFC, are not pressing charges against anybody.
I had someone explain this to me once. If you try your best to piss people off, you do not get to act surprised when you succeed.
Well
Period.
done.